to Underrated Movies. I am your guy. I am your man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today I would like to talk to you of another film that I think is severely underrated. And Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody will... hope everybody had a nice New Year's. Spending time with their families. Or today, we look forward to a whole new year. Hopefully for new opportunities, for new beginnings, and hopefully this will be a better year for everybody. Let's continue. Now, I would like to talk to you of another film that I believe, and this is my personal opinion, okay, if anybody's seen this, but my personal opinion. This is one of my favorite war films ever made. And this is one of my favorite films. Yeah, favorite war films, part of my favorite films list. One of my favorite Spike Lee movies, and it's not the one that I've already talked about. This is Miracle at Sant'Anna, directed by Spike Lee, which you have playing in the background right now on my TV, starring Michael Ealy, Derek Luke, Laz Alonso, Omar Benson Miller, with some surprising appearances from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, John Turturro, and Kerry Washington. And this is a war drama, an epic war film, and this is an epic film about a group of African American soldiers during their time in Italy in World War II who've saved a boy from certain death, and they take refuge, or they hide in a Italian village to try to reconnect with their fellow U.S. troops. They've acknowledged the difference of how they are treated in Italy compared to how they're treated in the United States or in America, how they're treated just equally in Italy than compared to how they are in the United States. And I actually remember seeing the trailer of this movie. And the movie came out back in 2008. And I don't know. I don't know why I didn't see it, because I wanted to watch it, but I don't know. The movie, there wasn't a lot of advertisements around. I remember seeing the trailer, but there was hardly any advertisements around it. And when I looked up, the movie tanked very badly. I think the budget was like 40 million, like 45 million, and only made under 10 million. Barely anything at the box office. So I'm here to tell you this movie was pretty freaking amazing. I watched it on DVD, and this movie was fucking good. This movie is incredible. First off, comparing a little bit to Saving Private Ryan, it might remind you a little bit of it. It takes place at a certain year, and then as the film kind of moves along, it flashes back to the character's time in World War II. And what I really liked about it, you have 4 soldiers you're focusing. You have Derek Luke, Alonzo, Michael Ealy, and Omar. I believe Michael Ealy's character, his name is Bishop. Derek Luke's, his name is Stamps. Omar is... oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. I'm sorry. And then you have the other guy, Laz Alonso. His character, and I think that might be him in the makeup where he's older. That might be him. His character basically tells you the whole story of what happens during their time in the war. And when it does, it takes a backseat on his character. His character kind of gets sidelined a bit. He's in there. He was part of the group, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. And the world that he tells you, you focus more around the world and on the other characters than you do on Alonso's character. you focus on Stamps, Bishop, and then the other guy, the big guy, and then the kid. You focus more on them than you do on Alonzo, and I actually loved that aspect of the storytelling where you're focusing through somebody else's perspective and everything in the situation that's going on around him. And I really like that. I really like the score in this. The score feels very military. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it feels a bit of a parody, a bit, but maybe that's just me just thinking that Spike Lee is just doing his own World War II movie. I mean, you have Steven Spielberg having his views on World War II. You have Stanley Kubrick and his views on the war with Full Metal Jacket. And then you have another director who has his views on World War II, Quentin Tarantino. And then Spike Lee is like, no, I'm gonna do my own World War II film. And this film is great. Like it's like everybody does a phenomenal job with the performances. I think this is actually my favorite performance from Michael Ealy that I've seen ever. I mean, he was getting in the show called The Following Season, I think season 2. But his performance in here, his character is so likable, but he's probably one of the most badass and most chill characters that I've seen in a film, in any film. Like, I thought his performance was so good. Like, it just, like, his performance in the film was a highlight. And so is Omar Benson Miller, where he plays such an innocent kind of like character where you feel bad that he's in this, and you know he kind of doesn't really want to fight. And when he saves this young boy who's suffering from some sort of traumatic experience from trauma. He's suffering from trauma, like I guess like amnesia, from enduring an event that happens in a flashback later in the film that's shown later. He feels obligated to take responsibility to look after and care for this man. There's even urban legends in the film where they mention in the film where they believe that this guy Omar could be this urban legend, well, based on what he that's seen in the film, that could help them potentially survive the war. And the biggest heart of the film, I think, is the relationship between the Omar, the big guy, and this kid. And then for some strange reason, and I remember watching it with my dad, we were tripping out. His character carries the statue head of the, I guess, Sant'Anna something. I'm just put the caption right there. And there's a sequence in there during the war sequence that you see here. He survives from like getting like just massacred with bullets. I mean he doesn't get shot, but he's seeing soldiers around him, and he doesn't get wounded. I mean, that's a little of a spoiler alert, but he doesn't get wounded. So it seems like this statue is like some sort of like thing that's protecting him, and I was like freaking out when that happened. And it's weird, like this statue that this guy has somehow provides some sort of like mystical power, or some sort of miracle occurrence that happens sometimes that like during the movie, it's crazy. Like when there's another scene later on where the characters are trying to reach out to their team. The guy brings the statue there, and they like rub the statue, and then they suddenly get like the radio to work, and something else happens. It's magical, but it's like it doesn't like really just put it like it's all magical. It's like they keep it kind of like a mystery, and I love that about this film. The direction in this was great. Sometimes the movie kind of deviates too much of having too many flashbacks and side characters where you focus so much of the world and situation around. You kind of lose track of the narrative a bit. Where you kind of focus a little bit. There's a point of the film where you focus on this Italian Partisan group. I do apologize for my pronunciation. This group of resistance fighters, and they're there to kill Nazis or whatever. But their story lingers into the main one, and there's actually a twist to what happens to it. If you see the beginning of the film and then this part happens in the film later, you kind of know what kind of like something's gonna happen. So it was like connecting the dots there. That was like a coincidental thing. I also loved Spike Lee's direction in this. Like, and this is his thing where he focuses on race. He does this and like he questions the characters, I guess, their beliefs. Should they continue to fight for a country that doesn't really respect them or doesn't see them as equal? But when they're in Italy, they acknowledge they're treated equally in there. And it's kind of strange. Actually, it's kind of, I would say, unique for them is that they start to embrace. They don't feel different. They don't feel segregated. They don't feel they feel they can be their own person. And it's more of a, this film is great. I don't know how many times I can say it. It's great. It's great. I'm shocked this bombed at the box office. I love this freaking film. And the ending, man, the ending was such an emotional. Like it paid you. Like Spike Lee knows how to end his films. And this is one of the best endings I have seen to any film, and it's so emotional, a little bit over dramatic at times, but I'm telling you, this gets the cake. The ending was so good, so good. Like, oh my God, man. Everybody, you care for every single one of these characters. You hope that they survive. You hope they get along. You hope for everything. Everything in about this film is almost perfect. I do have an issue with the sound mixing a bit, but you know what? It kind of, it doesn't take away from the movie for me. This movie was phenomenal. It's a masterpiece, and I love this film. You need to check it out. Miracle at Sant'Anna. It's one of the best war films I've seen. One of Spike Lee's best movies, hands down. And you need to go check this out. And you know what? This is actually a Disney film, to think about it, because it's Touchstone Pictures, and Disney now owns this. Please, please, please check this out. If you've seen this movie, let me know in the comment section below. Please check this out. Rent it. Buy it. Watch it on free on YouTube. You can watch a portion of it, or a big actually the main storyline of it. Oh, and John Turturro, Kerry Washington, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, their roles are kind of like cameos. And spoiler alert, that I told you the film is set in a flashback. So the movie kind of bookends, and it's similar to like Saving Private Ryan. So it takes place in 1983, and then it flashbacks to the main actual story. This film is a masterpiece. I loved it. When this DVD, I watched the shit out of this movie. This movie was just, I watched this movie twice in one day, and the movie's almost 3 hours long. I love it. Go watch it. Check it out. Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen this film. Let me know what you think. Please check it out, and let me know what's your favorite underrated movie.